Hey guys, welcome to Shep Talk and welcome to my review of Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo was directed by Neil Blomkamp and was written by Jason Hall, Zach Balin, Alex Say, and stars David Harbour as Jack Slater, Archie Medicus, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, as Jan, and Orlando Bloom as Danny Moore. Gran Turismo has a runtime of 2 hours and 15 minutes. Quick synopsis. Jan is a Gran Turismo player who wants to prove to not only his family but to the rest of the world that he is more than just a video game player by entering the GT Academy and becoming a race car driver, one of the elite race car drivers. Guys, like always, I'm going to be upfront and honest. I've played Gran Turismo maybe a handful of times and I didn't really know the story of Jan and all the trials and trepidations that he's gone through to become what he's become. So I've went into this movie open without knowing anything. This is going to be my honest review, just like always. So first of all, let's talk about Archie and his portrayal of Jan. This kid, like, I have not seen him in any other movie that he's done. I looked him up on IMDb. He's been in a few other movies, but I have not seen those movies that he's been in. But I think his portrayal of Jan pretty much killed it. He is playing this video gamer guy that has aspirations to be a elite race car driver, but not only does his family not believe in him, pretty much no one else really believes in him until one day Nissan decides to hold this competition in partnership with Gran Turismo to bring these kids to this academy to make them an elite race car driver. And Archie gives us this performance of that kid, right? We've all been there. We've all had the dreams while we're playing our video game that we want to be an esports guy. We want to be on the big screen in a fighting tournament or a racing tournament. But he took his dreams and made them a reality in real life. He is not just an esports guy. He is actually an elite race car driver. And he gives us those emotions as a kid that is doing his best to try to pursue his dreams since he was 5 years old. And Archie gives us that performance. He shows us the struggle he goes through with people not really believing in him, but he still has the audacity, the tenacity to go after what he dreams of. But I'm going to tell you right now, David Harbour steals the show in my opinion. He is so phenomenal in this character as this coach that is an race car driver to an engineer to now being the chief engineer to these kids that he's like, why am I trying to train these video game players to be real life race car drivers? It takes a lot more. It's a physical job. It is a demanding job. It is a mental job. And he doesn't believe these kids have it. And when he's on screen, he plays that character to a T. He is that grizzled veteran, that grizzled coach that's seen it all, that is really just there to make sure these kids don't kill themselves. And David gives you a performance of that grizzled kind of dad vibe. Maybe he's, channeling his inner, Stranger Things role, but he does a phenomenal job. And I think every time he's on screen, he does steal the scene from most of the people on there. I was not going into this movie expecting an emotional roller coaster ride, but we get that, especially with Jan's journey from being this consummate video game player that he has to deal with his dad who just does not see where Jan is coming from and where Jan wants to go with it and doesn't believe he can get there, to really people not just having faith with him throughout the whole thing. When he gets to the GT Academy, the coach doesn't believe in him, his other racers don't believe in him. It's just, he has to put up with a lot. And then he gets to the race and the other racers don't want him there. They think he's a fad. They think this is a stunt, this is a PR thing. Sim drivers don't belong on the racetrack, and so he's got to put up with them trying to get him off the track. And then stuff that happens throughout the story where not dealing with racing, dealing with the personal life, dealing with the other drivers. It is so much, it goes through such an emotional roller coaster, man. There's times where I'm like, wow, I did not expect to be feeling this right now, especially in a movie like this. And one of the fun things I think they did with this movie was that they have incorporated the racing with the video game. There are times when you're going down the track and they're showing you the line that you'd see in a video game, or they'll show you the heads-up display of like what position the drivers are in and stuff like that. Or like this one scene, which was, I thought, a very phenomenal scene where the card kind of explodes into like a million different pieces, and then it comes back together, but it's not the card, but it's actual the video game rig that Jan has at his house that he plays on, and you're seeing how he perceives the track in his mind now that he's actually a race car driver. I thought that was a phenomenal job that they did incorporating Gran Turismo game into the movie in real life. I thought they did a fantastic job with that. And as for the races itself, they really bring you into the race car, and they get you to see from the perspective of Jan and the intensity that it's taking to be this race car driver and trying to make it to the podium, make it to the #1 spot. And it is just so intense, and I think they did a really phenomenal job incorporating that into the movie, because sometimes racing scenes can be very hard to do, especially when you're talking about these type of race cars where are very fast, very tight, very restricted in the free space that they have. I thought they did a great job bringing us into that cockpit, bringing us into the car, and letting us see from their perspective of how a racer races. And some of the things that I did not like in this movie, I know Jan's story is probably a long time. I don't know how long it really took him from going from the beginning of this movie to when he actually, to the end of this movie, the time frame that they were in. They really don't give you, excuse me, time references and stuff like that. But you can kind of feel that they've condensed this a lot. That it is pretty much focused on Jan going to the GT Academy, to becoming kind of the rookie in the circuit, to, getting to the finale of this movie. They condensed a lot, and they pushed a lot. You can tell they pushed a lot out to the sides, because we really don't see any kind of personal life that Jan had. We get occasional glimpses of it, but we don't really see much besides the racing aspect of this movie, which is not bad. It's hard to connect with other people in this movie when you don't get to see more of them. And following up on that, all these other characters really did seem one-sided and not fleshed out. They seem to be there as like milestones in Jan's life, or people that helped Jan get to where he needed to go, or friendships that he made, but then we really don't get to see him continuing them. We don't really see him like talking to them or calling them or DMing them. And it's really hard, again, because I get it, they've condensed this, but when they come back in throughout the movie, you're like, oh yeah, that's that guy that was, in the movie like 20 minutes ago, especially with a runtime of 2 hours and 15 minutes. And they devoted a majority of this movie to the racing aspect. When they bring in the other characters again, off and on, it just seems like you have to quickly remember who they are. And one of those examples is Jan meets this girl, or he's supposedly known this girl for a minute. They have this connection at this like little get-together fire pit thing, and then you don't really see her anymore for a majority of the movie. He cyber stalks her a little bit on her IG, but he never DMs her like she said to. He never calls her, and it's really not until someone else suggests that he give her a call that we really see her come back into the picture. And I get it. The struggles of trying to make it as a race car driver and doing all the training you got to do to become a race car driver is really intense, but you would think that he would text her occasionally, reach out to her, do something, and they're supposed to have this kind of chemistry, and really you just don't see it. It's like, okay, he likes her, she kind of likes him, but they really don't show it to each other. Really, you don't see it in this movie a lot. And then you get to his father, who was a professional soccer player, and he is really trying to push his sons to become professional soccer players, and he can't seem to understand anything else for his sons but that. And at the beginning of this movie, it is very pivotal for Jan to prove to his father and prove to his family that he can do more, especially with the way his father raised him. But again, it just seems that he disappears when Jan goes to GT. Like, you do not see him, you do not talk to him for a majority of this movie. And I think I get it that throughout the movie he does have throwbacks to his father and he has memories of his father, but it just seems like everybody that seemed to have meant anything to him kind of disappeared for the majority of this movie. But guys, overall, this movie is fun, enjoyable, it is emotional. It had me thinking about stuff that I'd never thought I would think about. It is definitely a dream for people that play video games to become professional at the game that they're playing, be it real life or be in the esports industry. So it is great, feel-good story to see like someone made it from that, right? Someone played video games for their life and they actually became a professional driver. I'm sad to say, though, I don't think this movie is going to do well in the box office, just really more for the fact that this is a niche kind of movie. If you don't play Gran Turismo, if you haven't heard of Jan's story, then really, what's the draw to bring you into this movie? And I think that you will have those people that go to the movie or people that are curious to the movie. I just don't think you're going to hit a lot of people to go to this. And that's why I think they've released it in August. Which is sad because, once again, this is a good, solid movie in my opinion, and it should be enjoyed, but I get it. It is expensive to go to the theater nowadays, especially when it's blockbuster season. You have so much to choose from. But if you get a chance, go watch it in the theater. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. If you did, let me know down in the comments. But with that, guys, that is all Shep Talk has time for, and Shep Talk gives Gran Turismo 3 Sheps out of 5. Have you guys seen this movie? What did you think? Let me know down in the comments down below. But guys, that is all I have time for today. Thank you for watching. And this is Shep signing off.